Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the second week of Hashnode Bootcamp on technical writing. We are at the session number 4, almost halfway through it. So, yeah, hopefully you are all doing fine, doing this all nice exercises. And I would like to, remind you just before we start, we have some ongoing tasks that you need to finish. And maybe you saw it that upon ending this bootcamp, you will receive some certain kind of bootcamp Hashnode certification, but you will just get that in case that you finish all of your tasks on time. Our next speaker and today the topic of this today's session is really great. You will see it in a few moments. So our next speaker is Ido Shamun, co-founder and CTO of Daily.dev. Probably you heard about Daily.dev if you are on Hashnode, but Hashnode and Daily have some let's say kind of special friendly relations between each other, because first of all, they are sharing the same audience, you developers. So what Daily offers is they are somehow enhancing your audience. So they are picking the best articles from the Hashnode and putting it providing it to even wider audience. But Ido will tell a little bit about that. One thing before we start, as always, use this question tab if you have a question. Today's Q&A session maybe even be a bit longer, depending on Ido's slide. And Ido is also welcoming you to ask whatever question you have about him, about the topic, about Daily. Feel free to ask the question. If you don't have a question, go there and just check other questions and upvote them, since we will start reading the questions from the top down based on the number of upvotes. So hi Ido, welcome. It's thanks for being here. Thanks for accepting talking at the bootcamp. Feel free to start whenever you like.
Thanks, Bruno. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad to have this chance talking to you. And I hope you will like my topic about writing for AAA publishers. So let's start. And 1 second before we start, I would just like to talk about Daily Dev, explain it a little bit further. As Bruno mentioned, I'm the co-founder in Daily. And Daily gathers a lot of articles about development that you can find across the internet, not just on Hashnode, but on all the platforms, also Medium and some CSS Tricks, Smashing Magazine, wherever you can find dev news, we collect them, we rank them, and we show it in one place just for you, so you can personalize it. You can say what topic you are interested in learning, and we will give you all the relevant information. So I welcome you to try it out. Later on, we will also share the links in the chat, so you can easily download it. And obviously, we have a very tight integration with Hashnode. So if you are a Hashnode blogger, you will get some nice perks on Daily. But we will see it at the end. So let's start without further ado. So what makes a publisher a AAA publisher? So because there are a lot of publishers around the internet, but not all of them are AAA. There are two main criteria that makes a publisher into a AAA publisher. The first and the most important one is the size of the audience. Usually, this kind of AAA publisher or the big publisher have thousands of hundreds of readers every month that visit the website, read the content, and share it with other people. So you get, if you have the chance to write for these publishers, you have the chance to expose yourself to a massive reach of audience that is waiting and eager to read your content. The second criteria is the high quality content, because the big publishers don't want low quality. So they review, they edit, they have professional team of editors that will go through your content, will go through whatever you wrote, and they don't shy to reject content that don't fit to their audience. So these two criteria.
Sorry, Ido. Sorry, there's no slides shared. Maybe
it's, yeah. Okay. Now you can see?
Yep, better.
Yeah, so two criteria. One is the audience, and the second is high quality. They will not neglect each one of them. It's very important, and this is what makes a publisher into a big one, the high quality and the audience. Some examples of AAA publishers that you might know: Smashing Magazine, CSS Tricks, The New Stack, Scotch.io, Free Code Camp. There are many others that I didn't mention, but they are out there. They are looking for content. They want to publish. They try to be consistent and publish content every day or every few days. So don't be shy to approach them with your pitch. But at the end of the day, let's ask ourselves why we want to publish in AAA publishers anyway. Like, why should I care? What's in it for me? So the first and important criteria is you get paid for the content you write. You can get like $200, $300, depending on the publisher, depending on the content, but you will definitely get paid. Unless you want to promote a product or a service or something else, then you might do a trade. But in most cases, you will get paid. And actually, there are many people who make a nice salary out of it. The second perk that you get from writing for a big publisher is that you increase your reach, because if I write for my own blog, I have to work hard building my audience, bringing people into my blog. But when I go to a big publisher, I kind of outsource the promotion part of the content to them, because they already have an established and solid audience that will come and visit and see my content, that maybe if I publish it in some other place, they won't have the opportunity to see it. So especially if you don't have an audience yet and you are building it, using the big publishers platform is a great way to enrich your audience and bring more people to hear about you and to get to know you. The third point is that it enriches your portfolio, whether you are going to a job interview or you are doing freelance. Whenever someone else see that a big publisher put their stamp and accepted your work, it means like that you do something that matter. Like whether you go, like for example, if you worked at Google, then you want to go to another place. So your future employee will see, oh, you worked at Google, and will immediately think you are good at what you are doing. So it's the same when you write for a big publisher. And the last one is that it will improve your writing, because professional editors will go through your work, will give you their opinion, their professional opinion, will give you some editing, will give them their editing suggestions, and this way you will improve yourself. Because if you are a personal blogger, no one review your work, and it's very hard, to progress and to move on. And when you go with the big publisher, they have professional team who will review your work. The downside of working with the publishers it's that it takes much more time because they have all this bureaucracy of pitching, of editing, and then they schedule the work. It takes a lot of time from the moment you have the idea till the moment you get published. It could be like 1 to 2 months, depends on the publisher, sometimes even more. So you need to be patient. Because it takes more time, you need to put more efforts, you need to do it more professionally, you need to do it very descriptive, so it takes time. And also you can get rejected. And there is nothing wrong with getting rejected, but the only downside is that it can affect your motivation. But we will talk about getting rejection at the end. So how does the process look like when we want to approach these big publishers? What do we have to do? So the process is divided to 4 steps. The first one is preparations or research. The second is pitching, where you send the idea to the publisher. Once you get accepted, you have to start writing about the content that you want. And the last part is the publication and publishing the article. Let's dive into each part of the process and let's see what it takes to do it. So the first part is the preparations, where we have to learn a lot about the publisher that we want to pitch to. So what do we have to learn? We have to read the guidelines for the writers. Every big publisher has guidelines for the writers, like the topics that interest the publisher, how to send the pitch, what should the pitch include, maybe some manners to keep when you approach, and many rules that they state in order for the writer to have better understanding about the process and what he's going through. So read the guidelines, see who is the audience that reads this publisher's content, like what they want to read, what interests them. Maybe it can be JavaScript, it can be Python, it can be web development, it can be data processing, whatever. But make sure that you know what interests the audience of the publisher, because this is one of the important criteria that the publisher, when the publisher decides whether to accept the article or not. The publisher might say, this topic doesn't fit my audience, so please read and try to understand what are the relevant topics. And of course, the basis for all of this is to come up with a solid and crystallized idea that you want to pitch to the publisher. You need to have a solid idea that fits the audience of the publisher. So once you have all of this in place, we can follow to the pitching part, where you, even before you write the content, before you write the draft, you want to send the pitch to the publisher to check if they accept or they reject our idea. So again, I can't emphasize it more, but read the guidelines before you start pitching, because it can really get the publishers mad if you didn't read the guidelines and you already broke the rules before you once you pitched. So if you pitched and broke the rules, they will immediately reject you, even if you have a great idea. So after you read the rules and you chose a title, we need to write an outline for the article. An outline, you can imagine, it's like a table of contents. It's like you say, I'm going to have this chapter. You give this chapter a title. You roughly estimate how many words are going to be in this section. And then in some bullet points, you describe what you are going to say in this chapter. For example, if I'm doing a React, let's say a React hooks article, one section could be, why should I use React hooks? And then I can list some points like point 1, React hooks is functional as an immutable. Second is this is the next generation of React programming, etc., etc. But the reader and the reviewer should get some kind of idea what you are going to say in the article. So this is the outline. You also have to mention what will people learn from this article. So going back to my example before, people are going to learn how to use React hooks, and they will be able to move forward from using the class way to the hooks way, and this is what they are going to learn. Who is my target audience? So my target audience is React beginners, developers. Why am I the right person to write about it? Or why are you the right person to write about the topic? So you can mention that you have a specific angle that no one else have because a previous experience that you have, because a project that you worked on. But it's very important to say, why me? Why do I know better than someone else? And it doesn't have to be something very different, just slightly a different angle, slightly a different kind of experience from anyone else that published on this topic, and it makes you the right person to write about it. It doesn't have to be something big. And lastly, of course, every publisher might be interested in something else when you pitch. So again, make sure to write the guidelines of the publisher. But this is the main skeleton of pitching to the publishers. So you have to write a solid title. You have to write an outline that describes what are you going to talk about, why am I the right person to talk about this topic, and who am I targeting in my article. So we pitched, the reviewer said, we accepted, good for us, we can move on with writing. So again, before we start writing, we have to learn the writing style of the publisher, because every publisher has a different style of writing. Some prefer more hands-on articles with lots of code snippets. Some prefer to keep it more theoretical. So really try to understand and try to learn the publisher's behavior. Second, you have to be very, very descriptive in your writings. You don't have, like, once you set your target audience, you have to think about it all the time when you write the article, because if I'm targeting React beginners, I can't assume they know anything about React. So I should either explain it to them in the article, or I should refer them to somewhere else. So for example, if I talk about React classes and I talk about a specific feature that I might think no one else, or like maybe a minority of my reader will know about it, so I should either explain or I should link it to the React documentation, to another blog post, whatever. But make sure that the reader from the beginning to the end will get an idea and will be able to understand what you are trying to say. Otherwise, you might get a lot of feedback from the reviewer who might say, okay, please fix this and add here more description, and here you didn't explain it enough. So try to be descriptive as possible. If it's relevant for your article, so please add code snippets or even working examples, like using code pens or using a glitch, whatever. But it's very important for readers to be able to try out what you are saying. Like if I'm explaining about React hooks, I can put a snippet of an example of hook, or even a playground, so they can change the code, try it out, whatever makes it more clear for the reader to understand what I'm saying in the article. And as part of the writing process, you are going to get a lot of feedback from the editors. Some of the feedback might be just that they will change some of your sentences or your content, like fix it in terms of grammar or improve the wording of the article. Or it could either be, please add more examples or please add more description for a specific section. But this writing part is the part that takes most of the time when we publish to AAA publishers. It could take several weeks because it doesn't depend only on us. It depends also on the editors. So please bear it in mind when you approach the writing process. And the last part is publication. We finished the writing. We got approved for the whole article from the reviewer and from the editor, and now we have to proceed with the publishing. Of course, you don't have to worry about this part because only the publisher is active in this part, but you have to know that it will take more than a week to publish your article, even after it's ready, because they have to schedule it. They put you in the queue, and once it's your turn, they will publish it. Of course, they will let you know what is the day and the exact time that you will get published. Please make sure to share with them your Twitter profile so they can mention you when they share it. They can tag you. They can add all the relevant. They can add it to all the relevant places in the article, so people will know about you because we are writing for these big publishers, so others will know about us, not just for the sake of writing or to get paid. We want to get more audience coming back to our personal blog or our service or whatever. So remember to share your Twitter actively, even if they don't ask for it. And the last part, some publishers might ask for your bio, so have one ready. For when they ask, you can send it to them, because some publishers have a dedicated page for each author. So even if you wrote only one article, for example, on CSS tricks, even you have one article, you have an author page immediately with a bio, with your title, with a link that you want to put there. So it's very good in terms of SEO. It's very good in terms of increasing your audience. So make sure to provide all these details. And if you can make it ahead of time, it will be great. This is the hardest part of sending your content or pitching to a big publisher. I got rejected many times, and it didn't stop me from keeping on and sending new content to other publishers. So the fact that you got rejected doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't reflect anything about you as a person or as a professional, because it can be for many reasons. It can be that the topic is not aligned with the audience. It can be that they have too many articles about this topic. It can be many reasons. You don't have to take it personally. And also, if you got rejected, it doesn't mean you can pitch it again to another publisher or come up with a new idea to the same publisher. So don't worry about it. It doesn't mean anything about you. Keep rocking, keep writing. Don't stop yourself because you got rejected from a publisher. Don't make it stop. And lastly, if you take something from this talk, I want you to take these golden rules and put them in your mind whenever you write, even not for big publishers, but whenever you write, keep these golden rules. The first one is have faith in yourself, believe in yourself. You're writing good content. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Keep doing it. You will improve with the time, but keep it consistent and you will be better. Believe in yourself and stay motivated. You can do whatever you want if you believe in yourself. The second rule is don't try to parallel and send the same idea to many publishers. They don't like it. They might ban you because of doing this. So be patient. Go one by one. If you got rejected, send to another one. If they got rejected you, send to a new one. But don't do it in parallel. They don't like it. So be patient and don't be pushy. Sending the pitch, it takes time to respond for the pitch. It might take like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Don't worry about it. Just be patient. Don't try to send a follow-up like, what is going on? I sent you it 2 weeks ago. Usually the publishers are very busy, so be patient. They will get back to you. If you see after 1 month, after 1 month and a half, they didn't respond, you can follow back. But the key is believe in yourself and be patient. This is the key for everything. And that's it. That's it about writing for the big publisher. And now I was asked to give you a task. So I think my task is a little bit special compared to the other task that you might receive, because I want to focus on promoting your content rather than trying to come up with different topics. And my challenge to you is that your article will get picked by daily.dev. As I mentioned at the beginning, we have a very tight integration between daily.dev and Hashnode. What it means is that we get Hashnode's trending articles or the popular articles on Hashnode and show it on our feed. So once you wrote an article, you want to promote it on Hashnode. So people will upvote you, will put the reactions, you will start to get engagement from the Hashnode community, and once it gets done, you will be automatically picked to the daily.dev feed. And once you get picked to the daily.dev feed, you will get a lot of views from our community as well, and not only on Hashnode, and not only from Hashnode community. So this is my task to you. Write content and make sure it will get picked by daily.dev. You will have to promote it on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, Reddit, whatever works for you. Put the links there and make sure many people come to Hashnode and upvote your article. And if you want to be a little more extreme, there is even a bonus task, a bonus challenge. Every day we give the featured on daily.dev badge to an Hashnode article. So if you published your content, you got picked by daily.dev, and you was the best article on our feed for the day, you will get this badge. So we already sent this badge to many authors on Hashnode, and this is the bonus task for you. If you manage to do the first task, try to do the bonus task and get this badge. It's really cool, and and you can get both featured on Hashnode and featured on daily.dev. So yeah, this is the task. I wish you good luck. It's very tough.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Ido. This was really interesting talk and really a lot of insightful information. Yeah, myself never tried this to publish it to the AAA publication so far, so maybe even I would consider it after this. But yeah, I agree with you that this has really a lot of benefits. So it's not only a financial aspect. I mean, you will get like $200 to $500 bucks for that, but the most important part is that it will make you a little bit credible. I mean, more credible. It will, as you said, it will boost your SEO. It will, I don't know, your name will be out there, and as I said, you will be a little bit more credible than just popping up and say, okay, I know how to write on this or that topic. I especially like how you treated this rejecting topic, because yeah, this is kind of natural. I mean, it's a part of this process. So you apply to many. Not everyone will accept for any reason, as you said. But it's pretty much important that you explained that it's not the end of the world, and that you still just move on. And I also like the task that you give to the participants. So it's not only about the doing the task, but also it's about engaging, and I don't know, let's see so how it will go. Okay, now we have some questions here in the question tab, so I will start reading one by one. So we have some like the 10 to 15 minutes, so we can start with it. So first one is I think that in the last one this also was kind of active. So how do you deal with the imposter syndrome when applying to AAA publishers when you are a junior developer?
So imposter syndrome is tricky, no matter if you are a junior developer or an experienced developer. The imposter syndrome will always catch you unprepared. Whenever you think, whenever it's the time for it, it will catch you. So my best tip is fake it till you make it. So whenever it comes, just believe in yourself. Even if you don't have 100 confidence in yourself, try to do it anyway. Push yourself to the edge. Don't listen to this, to the voice at the back of your head who says you can't do it, you can't do it. Just do it. Don't overthink. And after a few times, it will already be a routine for you. So you will know, once you hear the imposter syndrome coming in, you will know how to put it aside and ignore it.
The next question is about your first steps when it comes to the AAA. What was your first AAA submissions, and how was your experience with it?
So my my first AAA publication was for CSS Tricks. Actually, it was not so long time ago. I wrote an overview about the different ways that you can save data in the browser, in the client side, not on the server side. And actually, Chris, who is the founder of CSS Tricks and the main editor, he was very kind, very polite. He really liked the idea, so he was very cooperative. That they are not trying, to push you out or to be like like a teacher or something like this. They are trying to do it once you got accepted. They are your partner. They want good content as much as you want a good content. So work together. They will hold your hand and take you step by step to whatever you need to accomplish in order to create a good content. And this is why I said at the beginning that one of the good things is that it will improve your writing and it will improve your content.
Are there any AAA publishers that are, let's say, more beginner-friendly in terms of level of knowledge that you need to submit in the article?
I think that the ones that targets web development audience are the ones that are more beginners-friendly, because there are a lot of beginners in this domain of web development compared to, for example, DevOps or infrastructure, which is perceived as more experienced domain. So CSS Tricks, Smashing Magazine, and Free Code Camp is very, very beginners friendly. So maybe even Free Code Camp, this is the right choice to start with if you are beginner. Yeah, but that's it.
Okay, the next question is kind of similar. I mean, you already started saying some specific examples. Do you have a list of AAA publishers that you recommend? Maybe you can even after the session prepare the list and share it. I don't know, somewhere.
Yeah, I can try. I can try and share some, but it mainly depends on the subject, because there are many publishers and you need to find the right one for your audience. So even if you have the list, it's not necessarily going to help you. But it's a good starting point. There is also a book that I can refer them later on, which I highly recommend in general, not just for writing for AAA publishers, but also for writing in general.
How much impact did the AAA publication had on getting traffic to daily.dev?
So I can't say it had a tremendous impact, but it definitely increased our domain authority in terms of SEO, because we added 2 backlinks, one in the article and one in the author page. So a very a highly reputation publisher like CSS Tricks suddenly have 2 backlinks to our website. It immediately increases our domain authority and make it more visible to others when they search for daily.dev.
How do we know, this is more like a task-oriented question, how do we know we got picked by daily.dev?
So what you can do is to register to daily.dev before you write the article. Make sure to fill in your Twitter username in the daily.dev account. And once you write the article and it will get picked by daily.dev, you will get an email that shares with you that you got picked, and then you can know it. And if you didn't register, you will see it in your analytics. Bruno here can be, I've already seen it a few times.
Yeah, I can serve as an example. So I saw it, open it, my analytics, and see, okay, nice. The next question is, probably also regarding the picking from the daily.dev. What happens if you don't get picked for whatever reasons? I suppose this is just also in the scope of task.
Yeah, so please go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm just wondering if this is related to the task or if you are not picked for the AAA publications. So I can't distinguish at the moment.
So if you didn't get picked by daily.dev, nothing wrong happens. You can try again with a new article. Eventually you will get picked. So don't worry, just be consistent. And if you didn't get accepted to the AAA publisher, again, don't worry. Keep believing in yourself. You know what you're doing. Be consistent. Write more. You will get better and better over time, and you can always pitch again.
How can one approach a platform like a FreeCodeCamp as a beginner for publication?
So a simple search like FreeCodeCamp, guest writing, guest posting on FreeCodeCamp will get you to the page where they explain everything for the potential authors, like what are the relevant topics, how should you pitch, what is the email address that you should pitch to. Every publisher has a very standardized page with all the information that you need as a potential writer. So just search whatever publisher, guest posting. That's it on Google.
Okay, that kind of answered the following question, but yeah, anyway, I'll read it. So do we have to submit drafts to AAA publications or wait for them to reach us and ask for content?
So you don't submit a draft. You usually submit a pitch, an idea, a rough outline about what you want to talk about. And then if they accept, you can proceed with the draft. But they want to be part of the writing. This is why they will always say, send us a pitch, not a draft. Again, most of them. Some of them prefer a draft, but most of them prefer a pitch.
Okay, and now some technical related. So what's the best way to show code in an article from your experience? Code snippets or CodePen links?
So if the platform allows to do an embedded CodePen, this is my preferred way. Of course, if it makes sense, right? If I'm showing an example of a website, then CodePen makes a great sense because then they can see the code and the website side by side. But if it's just, a utility function of JavaScript or something that has no visual, then you can just embed the code snippet in the blog post without putting the effort of writing a CodePen.
Okay, I have some money-wise questions. So, how much do AAA publishers pay in terms of range, not exact numbers? So, do you have any data on that?
So it can be around $200 to $500. This is like 500. This is the highest that I heard of, and usually it's not really publishers, but it's more of companies who looks for technical writers, like freelancers. So it's not really the big publishers.
The next one, I think also it's partially answered, but yeah, also when you write articles, do you have to write articles that cross-pollinate, or can you duplicate the same article on both sides? For example, same article on both Hashnode and daily.dev.
So when you write an article on Hashnode, of course, this is your content. This is your intellectual property. You can share it wherever you want with no restrictions. On daily.dev, you don't write the content. We just pick it up from the internet, and we drive traffic to the platform that you wrote the content at. So we won't show your content on daily.dev, but we will drive traffic to your Hashnode blog. So you don't need to worry about it. But when you write for publisher, the blog and the content is their intellectual property. They own it. So if you want to share it in another place, you need to ask for their permissions, and most of them will refuse for cross-posting their content because they want exclusivity.
Okay, and one short question for the end. So we are already at the end. So what happens if we are already picked? Is the task done?
No, write another article and get picked again. Don't try to find shortcuts.
That was the answer that I expected. So yeah, okay. With this question, we will close this Q&A session. So yeah, thanks again, Ido. Thanks again for this wonderful session and wonderful tips. All of your insight. As a reminder, yeah, for participants, whoever wants to share what they learned today, please use this Hashnode Bootcamp hashtag for the social medias. And yeah, the next session is in 2 days. It has also pretty much let's say popular topic. So how to overcome a beginner writer's block when you are writing as a beginner. So yeah, it's pretty much I believe there will be a lot of tips how to overcome these situations. We all have it. So yeah, thanks again. It was a wonderful session. Thanks for joining, for listening, and see you in 2 days. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you, Bruno.